Hi. This is a special episode of Enough Stuff because we're live and in person. I have my friend Kate. We grew up together. We went to middle school and high school together, but our paths have recently come back together because we just have similar interests, right?
That's right.
I would say. But you're doing a lot in terms of different things, in terms of getting out there, activism, etc. But before we get into that, first of all, I should probably say welcome back to the Enough Stuff podcast. I'm Lauren, your host, but this is Kate Kourtsidis, the guest today, and I'm going to let her just kind of give you guys the lowdown on who she is, what she's about, and what we might be getting into today. Here's the mic.
Okay.
I'm passing the mic.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Kate. I am I guess you would call me a climate activist. I find it such a weird, the fact that we even have to have like a term, you know what I mean? Like for giving a shit about anything. Yeah. Like just like activists, when it's like all these other corporations and shit are just regular, titles, just ripping shit apart, but here's the activist.
Yeah. Just wanting to live.
Yeah. Climate activist. I kind of really opened my eyes to the whole climate change issue starting in COVID, actually. Like, it was, global warming is a word that's been thrown around for as long as I can remember. But did anyone actually, sit us down and tell us what global warming actually freaking meant? No. So before that, I was a Black Lives Matter activist, Indigenous rights activist. And as I was learning about, colonization and all these different things, finally the pandemic hit and kind of coincided with that big learning curve for me. And in the pandemic, I got a job working for a health unit, the one actually that right here in our hometown. And so I was putting out all this messaging about COVID-19, but I was also putting out messaging on Lyme disease and how there's, ticks are migrating farther north, and beach water safety because there's larger algae blooms that are showing up in our lakes, and heat waves because they're getting worse and worse. And as I'm learning about these different health issues, it all came back to global warming.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Spoiler alert!
Ah. Global warming.
Wow.
And so I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? Is it just, this thing that we've been hearing about forever that means nothing? A buzzword, literally.
Hashtag global warming.
Hashtag global warming. No big deal. Hotter summers, we love it.
Yeah.
So then I started researching it. And then this job, I also had to read the news every single day, which is something I had been avoiding my entire career in PR because of my mental health. And yeah, it destroyed me. It absolutely fucking destroyed me because everything came back to climate change. Mm-hmm. Mudslides, flooding, hurricanes, all these natural disasters that were happening. So basically, I just really kind of dove 2 feet first and was like, I need to do something. Mm. And so I started volunteering with Greenpeace Canada.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's where I do most of my activism with. I do a lot of in-person protests and rallies with them. Until recently, I was also for 2 or 3 years, I was on their Green Speakers program. So I was educating students about climate change, biodiversity loss, and all that jazz. It's funny you say I've been doing all these things, so I did burn myself out, unfortunately.
You?
Yeah.
No.
A few times. I've had about 5 burnouts in the last 2 years.
You do a lot.
Yeah, it was just too much. I was just saying yes to everything. So this is all to say, be an activist, but you don't have to solve all the problems of the world on your own.
I think it's hard.
It's not possible.
It's hard not to want to.
It is. And, I just started a new job 4 or 5 months ago. So that with everything that I was saying yes to, I eventually started having to say no and prioritize my well-being, which is something that I tell students at the start of every presentation is you have to take care of your mental health, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're useless to the cause. You're useless long term. It's kind of like, in the airplane, put your mask on before you help somebody else.
Yeah.
Because if you're dead, then you're useless anyways. So
Yes.
that's kind of what I've been trying to practice the last 2 months. Like, I've really slowed down. It's kind of easy to slow down at this time, because it's not protest season anymore, as we call it, because it's colder.
Yeah.
So there's just not quite there's still protests happening,
Right.
but there's not quite as many. So there's less lure for me, at least. So it made it a bit easier to slow down. But I took a break from the school year this year of teaching, and just trying to wrap my mind around a new job, but still partaking in activism in terms of emailing my MP. I just got an email back from Chi Nguyen, who is my representative in the federal government. Okay. Yeah. So just emailing, there's different ways that you can be an activist. Yeah, so
there are so many. This is activism.
This is it. Literally just talking about it, raising awareness, keeping the conversation going. Yeah. As David Attenborough says too, climate change is a communications issue. So we have to wade through a bunch of false news and bullshit. So happy to be here. Anyways, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Yeah, and then we have people. Thank you. We have people I don't want to get into the people down south who are actively saying that the things that we will speak about today aren't real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they are. Yeah. They are real. Whether you would like to acknowledge that they're real or not, that's up to you.
We'll judge you, though.
Yeah, we will. We will.
But
no, we won't.
We won't judge you. We won't judge you. I should say, though, it's never too late to get involved. It's never too late to start learning.
Yeah.
So, I'm just a bit of an asshole. So
She's an asshole.
Asshole judge you a little bit, but then I'll hold my hand out and be like, "Thank you. Let's go. Let's learn together." There's so much to learn. It is overwhelming, though.
It is
right?
overwhelming.
I also feel I know a fraction of what there is to know.
Oh God,
truly.
no. I would say you are definitely an unlearner. If someone presents to you the information that is accurate that you didn't know, you're like, oh, okay. I'm gonna change.
Course correct.
Yeah.
Do my own research. That's another big thing. People don't do their own research these days. They're just I saw it on TikTok, so it's fact.
Or they do, but it's in the wrong places.
Yeah. Wikipedia. So you're getting the best news.
Yeah. You were in the belly of the beast, working alongside, maybe not always alongside, but David Suzuki.
Yes.
For those of you who are not Canadian, although I feel like he's known globally.
He is, but honestly, a lot of Canadians don't even, the younger generation don't know who he is. I know, me too. But
if you don't know who David Suzuki is, look him up. He has been, he's a scientist.
Yep.
He's been the host of a really interesting show on a Canadian broadcast corporation, The Nature of Things, which is just a small fraction of who he is.
Yep.
But he grew up in an internment camp in BC. He's Japanese, descendant from Japanese parents that came over here.
He was put in the camps when he was about 5, I believe it was, after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. So and he's a cool guy. And he's
a genealogist, he's a scientist, so he's studying genetics, and what he did a thesis on was the fruit fly. He loves bugs.
He's great.
But he's the one who kind of, in studying DNA and stuff, was this is how DNA is impacted by ecosystems and how the world works together. And then he uncovered the whole climate change thing, and he's been breaking the door down for the last 30 plus years. For as long as we've been alive, David Suzuki has been screaming into the void about climate change.
He has, and he continues to. And
I was at a rally with him this summer.
Yeah, didn't you say he didn't remember you?
Not a clue. He ate my dumplings last summer. This summer he's like, Kate who?
I mean, he is what? 85, so I'd say
he's 89. Yeah.
So he's allowed to.
He was in a huge crowd of 10,000 people, so it was fine.
I'm sure he meets a lot of people that are in awe of his work, but
I only took it a little bit personally. It's fine.
Damn, David Suzuki.
David!
If you're listening to
Dave!
this, we do love you.
That's what I always call him, Dave. Everybody howls at work, but hey, Dave.
I don't know how I got talking about David Suzuki forever. He is a beacon. He's the other David. He's our David.
He's our David.
Attenborough, and we have Jane Goodall, who's no longer with us, and Greta. We love Greta. this, obviously, these activists are on a large scale, and I think maybe that's what kind of keeps people stuck, because they feel like, well, if I'm not going that big, how am I going to make an impact? And you don't even have to do what Kate's doing. I mean, it's wonderful if you can. Personally, I'm not there, but I do this. It's a different version of what Kate's doing. There's also something to be said about you don't have children, so you are more flexible in that way.
Oh my gosh, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel for parents. You know, I got friends who have kids now. You've got friends who have kids now. And it's like, it's so much. I feel for them. And it's got to be really scary, too, for the fact that we're so aware. We're just so aware. You know, the generations are so different than they've ever been because of the rise in technology and all that, you know, kind of came into play with us growing up. And they're so aware about climate change. They're so aware about biodiversity loss. They're so aware about habitat destruction. And their parents aren't necessarily. Yeah. So I feel for them. They're being confronted by really harsh realities.
They are.
That, like, but you know what? At the same time, it's a weird toss-up because I'm like, every generation must feel this way. You know what I mean? Every generation must feel like their kids are just... Because we have been slowly, you know, peeling the layers back since, you know, the Industrial Revolution and colonization and all this stuff. We're finally, like, really wrapping our heads around it as, like, a society and on a global scale. Even globalization wasn't a thing, like, 2 generations ago.
No.
Like, so I feel for them. I feel for them because it's unprecedented.
Well, and so, you know, parents, there is that, and then they can't necessarily go out and be an activist, but they can with their kids, you know, like...
There's tons of parents that do. But I imagine it's exhausting. I imagine it's freaking exhausting. Yeah.
That allows us a little more time to dedicate to the cause and support those who don't necessarily have the time to dedicate to learning. It's a huge learning curve. Okay, Kate said she'd judge you. And that totally goes against my ethos, because I always say it's a judgment-free zone.
It's judgment-free.
It is.
It's okay.
She's fucking with you. It is judgment-free, because every little thing that you try to do is huge. Like, just trying.
That's a big part of it. I am all over the place, sure. But you don't have to be, and you...
Or you can be.
It's
okay, too.
But even if you're all over the place, it may look very different than the way I'm all over the place, you know? There's so many problems. Like, I get bogged down by the fact that, you know, the colonizers and the capitalists and the fascists, they have, like, hundreds of years on us.
Yes.
And that's why we're in the shithole that we're in.
Yes.
So it feels really overwhelming. I mean, I don't know if you find this, but even just like, again, with the uncovering of information these days, it's like every time I blink, there's some new can of worms being opened. Yeah. And it's demoralizing. It's exhausting. It's terrifying. But that's why all of us have a role to play. There's nothing, like, there's always something you can do, big or small, that will make a difference. Even just today's Black Friday, isn't it?
Yes, unfortunately.
Today's Black Friday. I read an article on Instagram.
That's still good.
It's a viable stat, but it was something like if people stopped, if every single American, or it was something like if every American prevented themselves from purchasing one $40 item on Amazon and instead use that to purchase something on a Black Friday sale from a small business, it'd be something like putting like $10 million into small business versus Amazon. Everybody's like, I'm one person. Yes.
Yeah, you are one person out of many people. So if you do something, it ripples through.
Ricochet, exactly.
Just don't participate in Black Friday too. Or if you're going to, buy local.
Like there's just little adjustments that we have to make that will make such a difference. Even in, like, you don't have to be a vegan, but if you slow down on your red meat intake and your meat intake in general, if you just ate, you know, two days off a week compared to what you're eating now, and everyone did that, night and day.
Okay, I just lost the vegan listeners. I'm kidding. But they come after me because I'm not vegan.
Oh.
I'm not. But I do, like I reduce. I reduce and I eat primarily plant-based.
Me too, yeah.
I really do try, but like once in a while.
You're never going to get every single person on this planet on the same page.
No.
And we're not supposed to be. That's all the things come in. If we're all the same, it's boring. But
For sure.
at the same time, just like wherever you're at, what can you do with your value system in your like space that tweaks a little bit and it will make a difference. You don't have to go from meat eater to vegan, but if you just become a meat eater and you just eat a little bit less, it makes a huge friggin' difference.
It does. And if you're able, and I always say, Kate, like, if you're able, do the thing. If you're able to buy like a safety razor, if you have the money to do so, it will save you money in the end, actually, because you're not buying a bunch of razors.
Yeah.
But just like dole out that extra $30 if you have it, so that those who can't don't feel the crushing pressure.
Yeah.
That because we're not doing stuff because we can.
Yeah.
That's I don't know.
Because it's also supply and demand. All these things are all really expensive and stuff because we are just like buying. And because the cheap stuff, we have to remember that like a lot of the cheap stuff, just because it's cheap for us, it means that it's probably cheap because somebody is not getting paid properly.
Yes.
Or it's stolen in some capacity. If we just were a bit more mindful in our buying, because, you know, red meat's one of the biggest issues. Fossil fuels is another big issue. Overconsumption is another huge issue. And the fourth one, I would say, would be deforestation. But overconsumption is a huge one. Exactly. And especially plastic items, you know?
Which plastic is in everything.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
You cannot avoid it.
And then there's microplastics, which
are
can
in
we just,
everything.
I wish people would be more freaked out by them because they're in everything.
They're in everyone's
But
body.
They are. Maybe
Yeah.
it's too late. But I was going to say about deforestation, I just posted on my Instagram, enough stuff, Lauren.
Plug it.
Plug. I just posted a video of David Suzuki and he was talking about the Amazon and how the only way it's profitable for the economy is if it doesn't exist and if it's being logged, if it's being used for meat production. If it's sitting there just being its beautiful self, we know worthless. We know that that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's in fact important.
Yeah.
But on an economic scale, for someone like Jeff Bezos, fucker, he would like to see it gone.
Actually, working at the David Suzuki Foundation is where I learned just all about how the economy is pretty much, capitalism is our pretty much like entire reason for the situation that we're in. That really opened my eyes in terms of, just how the economy is set up. About, go back to the Industrial Revolution and we start pumping out coal and we start using machinery, and that's in like the early 1700s, 1800s. You fast forward to World War II and the Simon Kuznets, who was a Russian American economist, he had this concept of GDP, and it kind of trickled its way up to the top right around at the end of World War II, and when they were trying to figure out ways to like track their inventory from all this stuff that they can make thanks to the Industrial Revolution, all this war machinery and all that stuff.
Great.
But now they're like, we have to track our inventory, we have to track our outputs, we have to track all the money we're making.
Yeah, the monetary.
Here comes GDP, which is just a measure of input, output, and money, and has no consideration for the planet, the environmental impact, the social impact, the cultural impact. Simon Kuznets himself, the inventor of GDP, said, this cannot be a sole measure of a country's success because you're missing everything else, like friggin' just everyday well-being of people.
Right.
And here we are, World Bank was, created, which is, as we now know, just an institute of the 1% and the Rothschilds and all that shit. And
eat the rich.
And then because that's how we started measuring our success rates, that's all that mattered eventually. As global, like other countries started to adopt GDP and say like, yes, all that matters is our input, our output, and our dollar value. And then that's just how we've now set ourselves up. It's all our economy. If we started like actually measuring people's like happiness, people's access to healthcare, people's like
What is that?
Laughable. People's like mental well-being, people's access to childcare, people's like how much do they see their family. Like if we started measuring these things and had like a proper well-being economy, our lives would look completely fucking different. It really is. Like the economy and our economic situation is a driving force. That's why that news article that went out a few months ago where that was titled, David Suzuki says it's too late.
Right.
He was talking about the fact that we can fight climate change all we want, but if we're still following capitalism, we're fucked. So it's like, that's the point.
Yeah, I think that article was really heavily misconstrued
It's
by
just the
many
title.
people.
It was a catchy title.
It was
and
the
people
title.
They
It was
just took
click.
the title and they didn't.
Yeah,
read
people
it.
were just like, "Oh, okay, well, we're fucked." But that's not what it was about. It's the fact that we can turn it around if we want.
And it's how do we turn around? It's about how we organize our economic system, which is a fucking feat. It's doable. Like we invented this system. We can change it. That's right. That's what people that are like, what do you mean we fucking? I'm like,
Yeah, we did invent
man-made,
it.
baby.
It is a man-made problem that we have gotten ourselves into. People like Zoran Mamdani. Yay, cutie. He's like, I
real
feel
one.
like a fresh wave. What do you feel from him?
I love him. I love him. I'm also nervous because, like we all loved the AOC for a minute, right? We loved the AOC.
Is she canceled?
She's canceled.
Oh, no.
She's canceled.
But the Bernie's not, right? We filling the burn still?
I
Or?
think we still like the burn. He might have voted pro genocide on something as well.
Really? But
I'm trying to. Don't quote me on any of this shit.
We're
but,
not American.
We're not American. But it's more that I just am wary because I've kind of been, just paying attention to, look at what happened in Canada, bro. We fucking elected Mark Carney, who is all about, like, Indigenous reconciliation, friggin' First Nations rights, and...
Is he, though?
And he's not! It was all a lie! I don't know how it's legal to say one thing in a platform and then do the opposite when you actually get elected. It's fucking insane to me.
It is insane.
I just get wary, and then, it's more like we're learning about... I've been learning, unlearning, even just our government system. Like, it's a lot of left versus right, Democratic, Republican, but like,
it's
they're
up
just
and down.
distracting us. They're
It's
really,
up and
and they're
down.
just distracting us from like the real problem because on both sides, you've got billionaire conglomerates.
Yes. It's the billionaires. Like,
It's
they
a
run
class
everything.
War. It can't be a social war. It can't be a race war. It's a class war. Like, that's why we're not getting anywhere because we just can't stop idealizing the villain.
Which I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Elon Musk. Fuck. I even hate saying his name here, but he is now a trillionaire, which I'm sure everyone knows.
How is that possible? I mean, how is it? I mean, we know how it's possible.
It's possible, and it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I was in Costco the other day, and I was just like looking at everyone kind of scrambling like animals, and I feel like those people, the 1%, look at us like that. Like we're just these vermin that need to be stomped out.
100%.
And, we're easily controlled, and it's really scary to think that these men, they're mostly men, they're all men, have this power, and you may think that you are not controlled by these guys, but you are. I am. Kate is. It's kind of hard to get away from. They're in everything we do.
Now, I've tried so hard to like rip away from capitalism, but like, and
we
just,
have
like, everything that like it is, you know what I mean? Just like going to the fucking grocery store.
As we have our 3 iPhones sitting
We
here,
have our 3 iPhones out,
lighting our
like,
faces.
Exactly. Like it's that's what I'm saying, because they just have such a head start, like, and they've just been wrecking havoc. So that's why it's important to like, make life changes, be cognizant of what you're buying, because that's it. All comes for them, the billionaires. It's all about money. So if you start like actually being conscious of where you're spending, like boycotts work.
They do. You can vote with your dollar.
Vote with your dollar.
Everything already exists. Okay. So, like, we don't need to keep buying new stuff. Us buying new stuff puts the money in their hands, whether it's someone who owns all the fast fashion industry. Like, I'm sure there's only a few of them there at the top.
Absolutely. And just like the warehouses, like where they all get made and all that shit. Absolutely. And that's, slave labor.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I will say that the stuff that is a conspiracy is right out in the open. It's not a big secret. It's out there, and they're the millionaires who are controlling everything. And that is the big secret that's not a secret. And if you open your eyes, it's kind of hard to shut them. So, yeah, there are things that are like conspiracy theories, and I'm like, that's just you looking for stuff.
No, literally.
It's out there in the open.
Yeah.
Like, the conspiracy theories are the fact that people don't want nature to succeed, and people want to take our power away from talking about these issues with us, with you. It's out there in the open. It's not a secret.
They teach it. Like, I went to school for business, okay? And this is how I knew that I was already, even like by the end of business school, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with this degree because I fucking hate this world. Oh. I've done a lot with it. But I just mean, they teach you about capitalism. They teach you about, this company owns this company, who owns this company, who owns all these little companies, and then they make enough money to buy up all these mom and pop shops. Like, we are taught that, and like this is how it works. This is how you get rich,
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. And even, I remember in marketing, I majored in marketing. My 4th year was all my marketing classes, and I had an assignment, and they were like, here's your product. It's a shampoo. Your assignment is that you need to sell it to this target market in India. And I raised my hand. I said, what do they need it for? Why is it different than all the other ones? And my prof said, they don't need it. And I was like, oh, this ain't the place for me. The fuck? I remember doing assignments where it was like, find a way to sell this banana juice to this target market. And I have always thought, why? But like, there's just so much crap on the planet, like, that goes so far beyond what we need to live, survive, and maintain a healthy life.
Yeah.
It's actually outrageous.
It's outrageous. If we're talking solely about clothing.
Yeah. 6 generations of clothes are on the planet. You do not need any more.
I go to a lot of secondhand shops.
Same.
Everything I'm wearing is secondhand at the moment. And even when I'm there, I get stressed out because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, not everyone's going to buy this because they're all buying new stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come here too.
Yeah.
And it's just going to pile up.
Yeah.
People, I think, there's a stigma that it's unclean or whatever. It's not. Okay.
So fucking stupid.
Just wash your clothes. Just take it home.
It's coming. You're just coming from a factory.
Yeah.
And these are the same people who don't even wash their rice. And you know where your rice has been? On the factory floor as well.
And your rice also has arsenic. Wash your rice.
Wash your rice like you wash your clothes. Fucking Christ.
Wash your secondhand clothes if you're buying new, which if you're listening to this, I hope you're not, at least not all the time. Wash your clothes. It's full of chemicals. And this could go on forever because then we have textiles and how they actually impact your body.
Yeah.
Like polyester. I have things that are polyester. I'm not perfect.
It's not possible it's like plastic, right? It's like that. I mean, that's part of
plastic.
That's part of why you can't get away from plastic. Plastics and everything.
It is plastic.
Yeah. It feels so overwhelming. Even just like going to a grocery store. Like, I shop local, but even then, sometimes you're like, I don't know where they're getting their distribution from. Like, I don't know where these products are really coming from. Like, do what you friggin' can.
Yes.
And that's the point. There's a lot of people that are just doing fuck all. And that's why we're not getting anywhere.
But
a lot of the time.
I'd also say, and this ties into the billionaires and how we are, giving them our money. We're working to fulfill the capitalist cog.
Yeah.
So therefore, we're all pretty tired.
Yeah.
And like,
That's how they want us.
who wants to go and like look for something secondhand when they can just order it on Amazon? And who wants to go and have a dinner out when A, things are so bloody expensive now, and B, like, you don't have the time because you're tired, because you're working all the time, and it's easier to just DoorDash some McDicks.
Yeah.
And, like, I am not shitting on those who do that. That's not what this is about.
No, it's not. It's
but
not
the reason you are in that loop is because how do you get out of it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. I mean, part of the, a move to a well-being economy is even like 4-day work weeks.
yes.
Like they make sure that they are not paying us enough to survive, and yet at the same time they are printing money nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why inflation continues to rise. So just get this. If you don't do something about it, you think it's expensive now, it's never going to get cheaper.
No.
It will never get cheaper.
No.
That's not how it works. It'll never get cheaper.
And there is an abundance in our world that is being withheld from the majority of people.
Yes.
There is an abundance in this world that exists. There's no food shortage, but they'd have you believe that. I mean, there could be if
There will be. I mean, it's inevitable,
global,
pretty
like
much.
more so because of the climate.
But because of climate change. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Not because it doesn't exist.
No.
Because it might become inhospitable. This is the conspiracy, is that everything is connected, but not the way you think it is.
Yeah.
It's connected because you're in a loop of trying to get to a place where you might never get.
Yeah, I mean, they sold us this bullshit about, like, go to school, get your degrees, enter the workforce, you'll just work your way up. It's a crock of shit. They keep the minimum wage as low as they possibly can while prices continue to rise because they keep printing money because they need money to go to the military because they just want to continue to colonize the other countries because we get the resources cheaper from those countries to sustain our lifestyle back here.
Yeah, it is.
It's all feeding
It never ends.
into it. And the point is make us tired to make it seem like we are working towards something, but then make that something absolutely unattainable.
And rely on convenience.
And rely on convenience. And also, the rise in TV, internet, TikTok, it's all just to keep us numb. It's to give us a little dopamine hit and to distract us so we're not, actually paying attention.
I love Netflix.
And it works.
But it's a drug. It's a drug, just like your weed. Yeah, weed,
Also love it.
your alcohol. Like, you can partake in those things, but just know.
And still be part of the revolution.
Yeah, you can be, but if you're numbing out to things all the time, that is part of the plan. That is the conspiracy.
Part of the plan. It's working. Exactly. Yeah. No,
But,
exactly.
Partake. I'm not anti those things. I'm just use them intentionally.
Yep.
And also not always, but generally, yes. So then you're not blind to the shit that's going on. But back to what Kate was saying about well-being is that if you don't love yourself and feel like you're happy with your family and you can survive, and why the fuck would you take care of the planet and care?
People who have stability in their life, which is majority white people in the global north,
Generally, yes.
you have to do something. Everybody else is fighting for their fucking lives. You cannot make progress when you are in survival mode. When you're under the boot, you cannot make progress. You're barely getting by. That's why, the global south has continued to stay being resource extraction central, because they're just so under the thumb. It's our problem.
It's us.
It's us. And it's not up to them to liberate themselves. They've been trying. They've been trying.
They're poor because of us.
Exactly. It's we have to care that our lifestyle choices are impacting other people. Period.
Yes. The comfort that Kate and I are feeling right now, being warm, our lights with our iPhones, our high-tech stuff, everything is on the backs of other people.
Yeah.
And that can be crushing to hear because you want to think that you're living ethically
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know, you're still like doing everything you can. And I think maybe for Kate and I, and probably a lot of people listening, that's where it gets hard, because it's like you're always feeling you can't do much else, because our whole lifestyle is based off of the suffering of other people. Woohoo! What the fuck?
It's horrible.
It's really horrible.
It's horrible. But then it's like you try to move away from it, and it's like there's no other options. Like there's no, we've set it up this way, right? Like also Canada, you know, specifically Canada and the United States, our entire continent is a colonized continent, a colonized country. So we have no concept because of, I have a theory, okay, that colonization, a lot of people that, you know, have moved, they lost touch with their roots. And because of that, they have no real investment in this land. So we have no problem like ripping it and shredding it to bits and shredding everywhere else to bits, because we have no
roots.
We've just lost them. And even though people love to say, you know, I am Canadian, I am first generation Canadian. Okay, you're first generation colonizer. Let's fucking start there. Which is fine. It's not your personal fault. Not your personal fault.
It's not.
But you have to acknowledge that you haven't been here for 4,000 years in you know, time since the beginning of fucking time. And you don't know, do you know what all the native plants are outside? I don't. Do you know what where all the streams and all that, like you don't. Do you understand the native wildlife species that are even in your backyard and how the ecosystem comes into play with each other? You don't.
Oh, by the way,
also product of design to make sure we don't understand.
Happy Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving.
Happy fuck Thanksgiving Day.
Well, you know those videos of people being like trampled and killed for stuff. But now you don't have to trample people, because you can order online from the comfort of your bed.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, it's a mess. I'm a huge fan of Wob Canoe.
Love Wob Canoe.
We love Wob Canoe. Wob for Prime Minister, please. Having Indigenous individual at the helm.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah. As much as I say, like, you know, make these changes and it feels overwhelming, what I've had to stomach is the fact that the choices that I make today, the outcome and like our generation makes, we probably won't see the results of that in our lifetime. Just because you're not making a difference in like a year for the whole planet, it doesn't mean it's not doing something. Change is very fucking slow. Like, you know, Wob Canoe, is he not the first Indigenous person in leadership in all of Canada? And it's been, so. We've been a colonized country for 152, 51 years, 55 years.
I don't know.
Fuck Canada. Like, that took a lot of fucking time to get here. All of this stuff takes so much time. Look at, like, the end of slavery. Look at the women's movement. Like, that shit took fucking generations. We are running out of time, so you have to get on board now. But you have to get on board knowing that you probably won't save the planet by the time you die. But at least we're giving the next generations a fighting chance. And that's the point.
That's the point. And yeah, don't be like a boomer and be like, well, I'm going to die, so why should I care? How many people have I heard say that? People I know, people I care about. A lot of people in my life are pretty on board with this dialogue. Like, maybe not to the point that we are, but like they're trying. And that's the point. Have an open mind.
Yeah. And be willing to like unlearn. You said it earlier, unlearn. Like that's like such a huge thing. And we've been conditioned.
Oh God.
We've been so successfully conditioned. And it's really hard to like face the realities of the world. I mean, look at all this fucking shit happening around the planet. Like it's a hard pill to swallow, like how fucked up it is. But that's step one. That's step one. Like admitting the problem. Now you know what you're fighting against. Before they were just giving us these fake things to, you know, and they're still trying, you know, blame everything on the immigrants. They're still trying it. They're still trying to give us, you know, something to latch on to and blame everything on. But people are starting to ask questions and they're starting to unlearn all the propaganda.
And if you don't think that has anything to do with the climate and what's going on, it's all connected. Like, we can't have any of this discourse without being on the planet, without clean water and clean oxygen to have us here to talk about everything that's going on right now that's crap. We did that.
Yeah, and we're still doing it. I mean,
we're trying to fix it.
I mean, with global warming, you know, a big thing about global warming is the ice caps are melting, right? The ice caps hold 70% of the world's fresh water. Without the fresh water, we're losing clean drinking water. And what are the governments doing about it? They're fighting climate change? No. They're making it easier for companies like Nestle, like Coca-Cola, to actually start owning fresh water rights. Yeah. So that when we're out of water,
they'll have it.
They legally are entitled to it.
And it will be bottled in plastic.
It's insane.
Don't buy bottled water. Don't buy, boycott.
Boycott.
We had a quick break and we were just shooting the shit. I'm not talking about anything sustainable, just talking about bullshit. Good bullshit. Because Kate and I, just a quick background, which isn't extensive, but we did go to middle school and high school together. Definitely we're in different groups, but our paths crossed.
I was kind of a floater in high school.
You were a floater.
Yeah.
Like a turd.
Like I was a turd in high school. Yeah, of course we like knew each other. Like I kind of would just bop around. Like I had my group of friends.
You did.
They bullied the shit out of me though. So I was, you know,
oh my God.
I was
and they're listening. Hey. No.
But so I just was a floater. So
You're a floater.
Yeah, I kind of just I loved just knowing people. And I moved to town kind of later, right?
We've kind of, you follow people from high school just to keep your eye on everything. And when, I don't even know when we started to message.
I know years ago though. It was years of
keeping
we were
eye.
breadcrumbing each other. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
You know what? It's like
breadcrumbing.
It's like, because there's ghosting. Because there's, ghosting, so where you just dip. And then there's breadcrumbing where you kind of just leave little sprinkles here and there. I feel like we were just
great.
Popping breadcrumbs at each other's DMs.
Yeah.
But then finally we're like, okay, let's have a conversation. Let's have a proper conversation.
Yeah. So here we are in my mother's living room, reconnecting. Kate is very much on the same page as the enough stuff ethos. And so I was like, damn, I got to get her in here. All my people that I have on are just friends. You don't fix what ain't broke. If I have people in my life who feel the same way, I'm like, fucking get on the podcast.
But also, change starts in communities.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. Just talking to your friends and seeing what's up and making that change locally, but people
Yeah, I mean, people are always like, how do I get, started and get involved? And it's a matter of start where you're at. Start with your place of work. What can you do to make your place of work a little bit more sustainable? Is it about, implementing a proper recycling program or a composting program? Is it about, joining an eco club if you're at school? Is it about talking to your friends and family? Is it about volunteering in your community? You don't have to go work for the big conglomerates of anything, even Greenpeace, even David Suzuki Foundation. Those are big organizations. Start small, start in your community, because it's at the municipal level that change actually takes a leg. But what's feeding into it? All the tiny little communities.
Yeah.
So you have to start small and it will grow.
Yeah, you need to start building a house is brick by brick. Yeah. And we are those bricks. And I post a lot on Threads and Substack, and I'm we're all the drops in the ocean, and some people take a huge offense to that somehow, and I'm like, but that's what it is, because all of us together, there's that picture of, I think, the plastic water bottles, and then it says on top, yes, 1 million people were just this once.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
Bottle of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that adds up. So if you take away and just today I'm not going to do this, and then it starts to compound.
Financial terms, you put $1 away for 25 years and you're fucking rich.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Baby steps. You don't have to. Kate and I have been working on our habits for years.
Years, bro.
Years.
You
just have to start.
Like, when I'm telling you, I would spend my COVID-19 money, okay? Government money on clothing, okay? Cut to, a few months into the pandemic, start working for the health unit, learn all these things about climate change, and now I like rarely buy off the rack and it's been like 3 or 4 years of rarely buying off the rack.
Except the merch to rep.
Except the merch.
Where's that? A little loon?
Loon.
Here. Hello. That's a perfect segue in, down a little, down. Yeah, there we go. Soza. So, Kate, take it away. Tell us what you're up to now.
Sure. So I started volunteering, right? Like, I was not in this space. I started off with Greenpeace. All of my volunteering with Greenpeace got me my job at the David Suzuki Foundation. When I was at the David Suzuki Foundation, I pulled some strings and some personal strings, and I got my partner's childhood friend's brother to come and do a project with me at the David Suzuki Foundation. Why? Because he was on this famous TV show called ABC's The Bachelorette. Ooh. He went on The Bachelorette. His whole shtick was he had just been volunteering at a rhino sanctuary. So when he came, he had adopted a rhino there, gave it to The Bachelorette. So he became known as like the wildlife guy. This guy's loved wildlife his entire...
Rhino man.
He was like the animal guy. Like, he loved, that was kind of like his brand, I suppose.
I mean, that's hot.
Yeah, and it was and it was him. Like, it's just, he's always loved wildlife. He was working in pest control before that, but doing like, the eagle handling, the hawk handling, and
Very cool.
all that shit. Since he had come off that show, he had this platform. He started like asking people to donate to this rhino sanctuary, and it worked. He was like, oh fuck, this is, because influencer marketing pretty still fucking, it's a new thing in the last.
You have a platform like that. That's huge.
Use it. So he was using it, and he was like, oh, this actually gets somewhere. So cut to, he came with me, and we did a project on caribou. There's a huge caribou crisis across Canada. They are going extinct. They are all from habitat deforestation, degradation, ecosystem collapse, mostly in northern Ontario and Canada, where you don't see it. Logging and mining. Anyways, he did a project with me there. He kind of saw me in action and was like, oh, this girl doesn't just, smoke a lot of weed and friggin' swear all the time.
It's nice
she actually
something else.
Yeah, he's like, oh, she's a functioning adult as well. That's lovely. Like, maybe we should maybe we could use her. So I wrapped up my contract with the David Suzuki Foundation, and he has he started the Save Our Species Alliance, is what SOSA stands for. He started that alliance 2 years ago now, 2023. And he was just doing it by himself. Like, it was him, and he, finally had 1 other staff, 2 other staff, 3 other staff, but he's always in the field. And so he couldn't keep up with everything that was going on. So he's like, hey, Kate, do you want a job? I need help managing this like small startup company. And so that's what I do now. I'm the general manager of the startup called the General Manager of the Save Our Species Alliance. So although I have taken a break from a lot of my other activism, and I feel like I've taken it, other people will be like, you're still fucking doing it. No, I just feel like I've really taken a break. I've just shifted focus, right? Like, the job I do is, what we do is we partner with nonprofit wildlife organizations around the world, and we find ways to raise money for them. A lot of the time, we curate eco-conservation focused trips. So we'll take people from the global north who have money to spend, and instead of just going on a fucking resort or a cruise or something, they're coming in to the nonprofits world, the conservation world, and they're getting to see, like, what are these people doing? What's the work that entails to rescue these animals and, like, rewild them? And their money from the trip is going towards the nonprofit that they're there learning about. And so they really see where their dollars are going. In addition to that, we do a lot of media projects. I have this incredible videographer. His name's Scott Bradley. He is insanely talented.
Shout out
Scott Bradley.
to Scott.
Blake's in the field. Blake Moyes, I should probably mention his name, is my boss.
Shout out to Blake.
Shout out to Blake. Those two go into the projects. Blake's often the one, he's got his education in guiding and in wildlife So Scott shoots all the content, shoots everything. And a lot of the time, another piece that these nonprofits are missing are just marketing materials. They don't have the funding to go and hire this shit. So what we do is when we go and we meet them, a lot of the time, you know, Blake and Scott, I'm sending them to Costa Rica on Tuesday, and they're going to meet 3 different nonprofits. And in exchange for them, like, just letting us into their world, we're giving them a fuckload of high quality marketing content for free. Like, here you go, because they don't have the capacity for it. So those are just kind of 2 different ways that we try to support nonprofit, wildlife nonprofits around the world, and just kind of raise awareness, raise their profiles, and just kind of help amplify their voices. We're just kind of a middleman, like a bridge between the good work that they do and all the people in the reality TV space that kind of started with us through Blake's reality TV world, but then we're like, oh, there's more.
That's really interesting.
I know.
That's an interesting.
Meeting people where they're at.
That is, I think of all the, I'm going to like deviate again. I don't want to because we are going to wrap up, but I just think about all the people with platforms online. My platform, itty bitty bitty, compared to, let's say, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
Ugh. Those people could have such a huge impact.
Yeah.
And that just blows my mind. So when I hear about like reality stars using their platform for good in this way, it does give me hope.
I mean, dude, I was literally auditioning for reality TV when I was younger. And the only reason when I was really like in my early 20s, I wanted to do it because I was made for reality TV. Can't do it now. I'm like far too gone.
God.
But like when I was a bit older, I was like, fuck it. I thought the same. I was like, I have to go on fucking reality TV just because I cannot I love reality TV, but yet I'm watching all these people do fucking nothing with their platform. Fucking driving me crazy. So then when Blake went on, I was like, bro, I'm so proud of you. Like, I was just really like impressed, and I continue to be impressed. Like, that's his, you know, he's turned it into a business.
That's amazing.
And
Good
because people are paying attention, and people, it's just about like, yeah, meeting people where they're at.
Yeah.
While we're trying, you can still love reality TV and try and save the world.
You can.
You don't have to give up everything to make a difference.
Hey, if you have a big platform, I don't even know who's listening to this. Use it for good.
Use it for good.
Because, yeah, it just makes me sick thinking of the lost potential of all these people and their millions of people. Instead of profiting, well, that's what it is.
That's why.
Never mind. I'm going to stop.
That's why. That's why.
Because they want to profit over people.
They're all at the top of capitalism. They're loving it up there.
So scratch everything I just said, because that's never going to change. But let's make me into a de-influencer, and then I can use my platform for good. I'm just opening another can of worms.
Like, you hungry?
Just opening them.
Hungry?
I have a bunch. But I guess we'll have to
my
do
bowl?
this. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Can of worms in it. Gross.
We're just going to have to do it again.
Yeah. So I guess we'll wrap it up. This is a mess. It's been a mess, but in like the best way.
In the best way.
Yeah.
In the best way. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was lovely.
Kate, you're going to be back.
I'll be back.
She'll be back. Maybe in more of a bigger capacity. Maybe.
Who knows?
We have to work on some big things
Planting
in the new
seeds.
year. Yeah. That's my I say that all the time.
Yeah, planting seeds.
I always plant seeds.
2 birds, 1 seed.
Always fucking seeds, not bombs.
Hopefully we planted some seeds today.
Yeah, I don't know if you come out of this with anything.
Other than whiplash.
Yeah. It's maybe next time we should have notes.
Nah.
Oh man, we really jumped around. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And I'll put Kate's social links wherever the links are, and the SOZA links, so you can check it out yourself. Follow Kate. Follow her
Follow
activist.
Kourtsidis Kardashian.
Yeah. Climby Kardashian. Speaking of the other ones, this is the one you want to follow.
This is the Kardashian you didn't know you needed.
There you go. So yeah, go follow Kate where she's at, and maybe you'll be seeing her in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.